Are you looking for a keyboard to play Tekken or another fighting game on, and you're like, hey, I got all these different keyboards, but which should I actually go out and purchase? Well, let me tell you about the term N key rollover. It is what allows me to actually perform a move on this keyboard, but this keyboard does not have N key roller, so I can't input certain moves, or in general, just a ton of the moves that are possible in the game reliably. So I'm going to go over an example of this move that has three different types. You can do it I guess you could say normal way, improved way, and then perfect way. And then I'm going to go into the understanding of why it becomes impossible on a keyboard. You know, this one can cost a couple $100, and this one can cost $25. I never had a problem with this keyboard in any other game, but this one is the only one that I can play Tekken with. So this is a perfect electric punch. And you can see I got the purple with the electric going in there. That is the improved version of the electric punch. And that is an improved version of the down forward 2. Now as you go from normal uppercut to electric uppercut to perfect electric uppercut, you're going to get more damage. The startup is going to be faster, so less frames for startup, and you're going to get better frame advantage. So you're going to go from negative to plus frames. And why is this important when you're trying to think of what keyboard does what? Well, doing a perfect electric requires you to actually press 3 buttons for that last frame, because you're doing a forward input and then a down forward 2 input on 2 frames later, you know, optimally. But a worse keyboard may not be able to actually input multiple inputs on the same frame, and I'll show that in a second. But the key term here is N key rollover. It is what allows keyboards to put multiple inputs into the computer on the same frame. So to show you what I mean by that, if I press all 4 attack buttons at the same time, you're going to notice that I have a bunch of 1s going on here. So I pressed them all on the same frame, but it only did 1 input here, it added another, added a third, added a fourth, and then when I released, it took away 1 input, another, and then finally to nothing. But if I do it on a keyboard, let me just move those inputs. If I do it on this keyboard, I did the same exact thing, except it actually input all 4 on the same frame, and it also removed all 4 on the same frame, because I am pressing it correctly. It's just that this keyboard, which works perfectly for every other game, just doesn't work for fighting games, which really require frame perfect inputs. Now, maybe if you're speedrunning on a computer, you would have known this, but I don't. I play, games like Dota or Counter-Strike, which, yes, a better frame perfect input would be great, but it's not totally required nearly as much as fighting games, where you have to press both buttons on the same frame. So, for example, if I'm doing this, it just looks nasty on the input feed compared to doing this. And potentially because of that, if I do slip up ever, just like 1 frame off, the keyboard also will then input things later than it should have been. So the key term here, just want to come back to it, is N key rollover. It's the ability for the keyboard to send multiple inputs all together at once. So when you're looking for a keyboard, definitely look that up. There is a website, which I don't remember at the current time, but I'll put it in the description, where if you look up keyboards, it'll say yes or no for N key rollover. Theoretically, most newer keyboards should already have it. If you get this is a Logitech, you can see here's the G. It's probably going to have it because it's made for gamers. But this Logitech one that's wireless and I got from Walmart that was $25, it doesn't have it. But it doesn't cause any problems aside from when I tried to play Tekken. Because when you're trying to do certain inputs, sometimes this command grab doesn't work because you look at the inputs and, okay, well I'm getting it now, but it causes me so much grief in matches when I'm trying to do this, and it does that whatever, it does up forward 1. It does this when I actually still pressed, or it does, what is that, forward 2 or something? Yeah, or, no, it's up forward 2. Because it can't input all 4 on the same frame, and if it even can input all on the same frame, or no, it just can't. But I can always reliably do it on this keyboard. Just look at the inputs, right? I don't have up, and then a forward to make it up forward, and then up forward 2. I don't have to mess with this. It just does immediately up forward 2. So not only am I actually getting the moves off more successfully, but I'm also getting them off faster, right? I don't have to wait 2, 3, the 4th frame to get a move. Or wait, Where's the 1? Oh, because it just didn't even input? I don't know. Very confused. But let's take, let's go back to this. So I can get the move instantly instead of, number 1, not being able to do it. But also 1, 2, 3, 4th frame, getting a grab here. I can just get it on the 1st frame. Okay, that time it was 2nd frame because I'm, new at the game. But 2nd frame versus 4th frame is still a very big difference. So yeah, that's the information that I have about getting a keyboard. It's not what keyboard should you actually get, it's how to make sure you get a keyboard and you don't waste time getting a keyboard, and that this even exists. I hope it helps, and if it does, I guess let me know in the comments. Whatever you have to write, did you have a great day? Whatever's going on in your life, have fun.